Hello and happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to your daily lighting critique. We have two submissions on the day. We have Kat, and this is Holly's, and we also have Kat's update to her Sir Desmodus Rotundus image. We're going to actually start here with Holly's first out of the gate. So I was looking at this one because it's like we're not quite there yet with it, and I was trying to pinpoint what it really is that's lacking. Like, what is the one thing that we can change right now that would make the largest impact? So I was kind of going around and gathering some reference images and kind of looking at some stuff. And the biggest thing that was standing out to me, I think, is the shaders. I think it's the shaders on the skin. Because when I started, I was like, there's something about this that we're, losing softness and we're losing... we're just kind of the characters feel almost plastic to me and not like skin. So I was kind of looking at some various references, just kind of resettle myself and recenter myself. And one of the things that I really like, and so I was trying to just find super simple characters without much. This is by Joy from one of our students. So just trying to find the characters that are that have appeal, that are simple, and it's what do they have that's making that kind of stand out. And so one of the things that I was seeing was obviously things like the lips being different than the regular skin, things like having some a good amount of warmth and kind of an undertone of warmth to the skin tones, and also just some micro, just some some little details and stuff, right? Some, these chest hairs, the nipples are a bit much, but having the freckles, the rosy cheeks, just some more to the skin that isn't necessarily just that's not just a flat thing. So I think that it would be wise in this one to really work on the subsurface and really get some more rosiness in the cheeks on the characters, get some variation, maybe some freckles, some variation in color across the skin, because even this has it's a little bit brighter here in the middle and darker, warmer around the outside. It's the way the shaders kind of behaving. So it's not a total because I think that the some of the lighting stuff is working pretty well, the movement of it and that kind of thing. I think the boy also, all the lights feel pretty neutral. I don't feel there's a lot of difference between the color of the sunlight and the color of the gaming light that's coming out of his little handheld device. And also, and then again too, I was just thinking the overall color scheme. I would. I'm just looking at her. The big one is her shirt color. It's just kind of I think we should try and do something a little bit more colorful with her shirt. Maybe a green color would be good. Just something, because I feel down in here. I mean, actually, you know what? Including her skin tone down here, it's all just kind of warm browns, kind of intermingling between the seatbelt, the steering wheel, her shirt, her skin, the seats around her. Everything's kind of, and I think having something there would be good. But that was my thought. I know we've worked on this for a while. I know this takes a long time to render, so I was reluctant to make this note. But I think that for the good of the project, I think that would be good for the long-term success. I keep playing this. What do you guys think? How are you feeling about this?
I think, yeah, exactly what you said. It's still, last time she posted this, we had similar notes. Yeah. Maybe for the next iteration, instead of rendering the whole thing out, work on the shaders and then render out some stills.
Yeah.
So we don't have to render the whole thing out. Because, I mean, the scene itself, the set doesn't change. They're always in the car.
Yeah.
So if you just render out a still, from a couple different angles, so you can see, the light when she's, in this pose, and then when she's leaning over, and that type of thing. Mm-hmm. And then you can post the stills, and then we can work on all that stuff. Yeah, before you render the project out again.
Totally. Even and even just this first frame, I think, is really indicative of the whole thing. And I think you could just kind of work on that one. And then the other thing too is there's a lot of light inside of her mouth. So just be on the lookout for that. That might be just thin geo and light passing through that. But I was noticing when she was her teeth get really bright, and then the inside of her mouth gets really bright over there too.
think yeah. But that's what I would do, because that
Yeah.
way you're not wasting all the time waiting for it to render. Just render out some stills, and
Yeah.
then really dig in on the shaders. And then once the shaders are done, everything looks good. Then you can render the stills.
Yeah. No, I think yeah, because again, like we just want this to be, we want the project to be right for you, and to because you've been working so hard on it. We wanted to yeah to pull through for you and be the demo reel worthy piece that it should be. But yeah, no, I think because like I said, I think you've got a lot of really solid components. There's like her hair over here looks really nice. Like that looks beautiful. Like the way that there's like this kind of like softness of the light coming down here and a little bit of rim wrapping around. It's just like a little bit of shaping coming up here. Like that, all that's looking really good. It's just like getting more of that into the scene, right? It's like taking what we have that's good and building upon it.
Yeah.
I'm a,
Oh, good.
go, I was just gonna say, I'm assuming she's rendering this in like Maya or Arnold or something.
Mm-hmm.
But if she doesn't want to, if she's a little hesitant to dig into shaders and make them from scratch, I know Megascans, you can download that stuff for any software. And then she could just, like, especially for the car, make the seats look a bit more leathery and stuff. It's all free. Megascans is free if you get an Epic login.
The problem with that stuff sometimes is that, like, and it's when you start mixing the different styles, like if it's more photoreal or less more stylized, it looks like it kind of can get janky. But because I don't think it'll take much. I think it's just like, again, rosy cheeks, a little bit different, like a little bit of different stuff on the lips. Just like some freckles and things like that.
Yeah, one thing that I've noticed also is like there's some things that are like you can see the edges, like the steps in the edges, maybe just like a smoothing, like in the not the eyebrows, but maybe the eyelashes.
Yeah.
I've seen on a couple of frames on the shirt also, so maybe just doing like a smooth on those geos.
And this is I think if I remember right, I think it's a pretty low res render too, just to probably see it done. So
and
I think
the other thing I would say
you can
is
see it on the levels too.
the eyes, they look way too, like the iris looks way too black to me.
Yeah.
To me. Because even if you have like really dark eyes, it's never black.
Yeah.
So maybe like get a shader that that you have a difference between the iris and the pupil to have a nicer.
Yeah.
I agree with everything that you said. Yeah, like that you see.
Yeah, and even these guys, like he's got these green eyes. He's got sunglasses on. These are a little different designs, but definitely that definitely helps. And then like a little bit of bump in the skin, and like this is really nice too because she has this kind of like it's kind of a warmer purple, almost like an eyeshadow thing, around there, and I just it's and this is nice too. Like the material on her garment here, it's just like really subtle and same thing with her hat, just like. It's not super complex. It's just really nice.
And her skin on that one is really beautiful. Too.
Yeah, it's really incredible. Like the specular highlights on here look just so good. Like that little kick there. Like her hair, like this is a really really nice one. I like this one a lot.
I just googled redhead photo shoot, and a lot of the images, like you were saying that like. The mom has the red hair and then the skin and then it's like brown.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of like, this is just basic kind of color families and stuff. But like, if you Google redhead photo shoot, a lot of these women are wearing like greens to kind of offset like the brown. Like a lot of the backgrounds are brown and then there's a lot of green and then there's a lot of like, or they'll wear like a red. This girl's wearing a red dress as well.
Yeah. Like this is wearing green here. This character's wearing blue to get the red hair to pop off. Actually, I didn't even mean to grab red haired people, but that worked out well. Yeah, you're totally right though. Because it's just creating some complements to get the because usually a red hair color is such a unique characteristic of an individual. Like there's not that many red haired people in the world. that it's like you want to kind of that can often be a distinguishing like hero color thing with a character.
Yeah, I'm just wondering like if like a red shirt or a green shirt would just kind of make her just really pop. And then, I mean, these are all like photo shoot images I'm looking at, but yeah, they definitely have like, you know, the darker lines around the eyes and the pinker lips as compared to like their skin and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. All right, cool. All right. There we go. All right, let's move on into cats. All right, so we have an update here. So, Kat, there was a bit of a paragraph. I didn't have a chance to read it.
No
could
worries.
you? No. So, what do you? Can you talk us through your updates?
So basically, what I did was I did try to put some of the geo on the light, but it didn't quite work because that's a point light that's in the lantern. So what I did instead was I decreased the radius of the point light, so it made the shadows from the surrounding area darker, and it ends up kind of actually framing him better.
Yeah, I was expecting to see a little bit.
Screen share.
I was expecting to see a little bit more of the yellow on the back wall there, but that's all right.
Yeah, I'm just kind of messing with the point light, and part of it too was I turned the point light down because when you add the glare, like it seemed almost too bright when I decrease the radius, and then so I was like, it became the brightest light in the scene, and I was like, it doesn't make sense that that's so bright, so I actually turned down the power of it just a touch.
Got it.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
I said then what I did on the floor, on the ground, was I basically made the roughness completely reflective now. So what I was noticing was if I put too much spec, it made the whole ground it lifted the whole ground's values instead of just the little rocky parts. So I just put a little bit of spec and I put the roughness all the way down. And I think that's making the rocks reflect a bit more. Yeah. And you even notice it like to the left in the blue area. You'll see it kind of more up there too. And then I just tone down a little bit of the saturation on the kitty eyes and decrease their power a touch.
Cool. I think with the ground, one thing that I would do with the ground is just do a separate render with like the ground almost like with a like super reflective specky material, and then just paint it in the comp, like just mix them together so you can have like some more because like you don't especially with the still, don't feel like you have to get all of the components in one render all the time. Like you can render it out you can render out two different passes and then comp them together. Because I think that would definitely be a struggle. It would be difficult to get all that in one render. So I would do it. I would do it as two and then combine them. Inside the pumpkins, looking at this now, there would be like I was thinking about this. There would be like a light source, right? Because inside the pumpkins, there's usually a candle, and like that would be a little bit brighter. So I would kind of simulate that. You don't again necessarily have to do that in the.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that's still seeing the car scene on the?
No, I'm the only one seeing. I still see the car scene too.
Really?
Yep, you do.
Yep.
Oh, weird. That is so strange. Okay, hold on. Let me stop screen.
I wasn't sure if that was my phone freezing or if it was your stream. So
I am so sorry, guys.
Backed out. No worries.
Is that better?
Now I can see.
All right, sorry, y'all. That was I must have just had it on one window instead of the whole screen. I apologize. Yeah. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So for the ground, render the rocks or like a really specky pass out separately and kind of paint it in. And for the pumpkins here, I just think that there would be like a candle in the middle, so there would just be like a little bit of a bright glow inside of there. Like if did I do it? Let's see. Like it would be, something super bright in there. Just like kind of down here at the mouth. Just so we can kind of feel that light source in there a little bit more. And then, because it just doesn't, it feels like it's an outline more than there's light kind of glowing out of it. And then I do two things I would do. I would darken the sky back behind the house. I think it's getting a little bit bright back there. Not like the actual sky. I love the lighting on things. I I would also try and get a little bit of that moonlight right here on the edge of this house, because it seems odd that we have it back behind and in front, but not here. That darkness feels like a little detached. And then I think we can get just a touch more light on his face. I would literally put a spotlight right on his face, not like directly at him, like kind of from the side, but I would just do a little spot hit, because we used to do that a lot, and just get a little bit more value right in here, just to kind of get the face to read a little bit more.
Okay, I'm confused a little bit about the sky. You want it darker, so do you want me to just make the fog darker?
No, I want the sky itself, the plate that's back there. I think I would like.
It's not a plate.
What is
but
it?
I can.
But is it a separate? Is it like a separate pass or something you can control independently?
No, it's a directional light that it's a directional light, and then the stars are actually a noise texture on the background world.
Okay. What it like the? Oh wait.
So I can make the light darker. So basically, this is all in render. Like I don't have a background plate on it at all. I don't have an HDR or anything on it.
Okay. So it's more of a. Let's see.
I can change the color of the fog, which would make the back look a little darker.
It's basically just like kind of as we get more right around the house here, because okay, let me phrase it a little differently, because what I am reacting to mostly is that what I'm reacting to mostly is this right here, is that this porch sticks out and like the ground underneath it is lighter, right? And so what I want is, I'm thinking that we need to darken these areas around it just a little bit to kind of to blend in a little bit better with the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
I
then,
can fix that.
Yeah.
It's a combination of the direction of the light, because the lights are actually coming from behind the house,
mm-hmm.
so that's in shadow, and then probably the mist pass, the Z pass.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a color ramp that's changing the colors as it goes farther back, so I can tweak with it to make it a little darker in that area.
Yeah, it was just I think that might be all it takes, because I was thinking it was a matter of adding like a gradient ramp to the sky to make the sky darker back there, but
you have a gradient on the fog, so it works the same.
Yeah.
We're similar.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's not gonna work, but you get the idea. And then for the character himself, I think. There he is. It's just a matter of getting just like a little bit more, kind of a fill light into his face area.
So how shiny do you want the rocks on the ground? I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out, because you were saying that maybe do 2 passes and then make one more bright.
I want to, yeah. Well, it's you do 2 passes, so and then you literally bring them into the comp. Like if I, like let's say I took this, and I created just a pass that was like super bright and like super bright and contrasty in there. What I would do is I would then, this ground plane that you're using, is it all? Would you be able to create a mat or a crypto mat or something of just the rocks?
I'm not sure. It's a material I got off of Megascans.
Okay.
So it's basically one of their rocky soil materials, and I basically created a new landscape setup, because the ground plane that came with the thing didn't have enough geo to tweak with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I created a new thing and threw that on there. So it's basically it's a Megascans texture.
Got it.
So I don't know if I can crypto matte just the rocks because I don't think it's going to recognize it separately.
Yeah.
I can
Well,
try to
would
maybe do
you-
like a color ramp on the specular stuff and maybe make parts of it shinier.
Possibly, but another thing you can do is look into the actual texture maps that are generating it and see if you can just like paint out the rocks or like paint, you know, like everything else green and then the rocks are red or something. But I think that it could even just be a matter of like, do you see how when I brighten this up a lot, like it becomes much more dynamic with like the different colors?
Right.
It's getting a little bit of that, but maintaining this darker value. It's just that when we get down here, it just all kind of comes like imagine if there was just like a piece of broken glass in there or something. The way that it would get like a little bit of speck, and like sometimes rocks have that same type of specularity to it. So and I'm not talking about like the majority of it. It's like literally just some like small little pockets where like it would just be like this and like this one, that one.
I'll get into the shader then and see
Yeah.
if maybe I can just
And then
tweak
and
it.
then once you isolate it down to just like a few or just like a small area of them, then you can be like, all right, cool. I've got this. Now I can kind of dial this in a little bit, and just make it so like there's some extra little pops of stuff that are coming through. So it's just like a little bit more variation in the ground plane. It just makes it feel a little more lifelike. Like there's more, just like stuff, just more stuff.
Yeah, the shader actually has leaves and stuff in it, and they were reflecting more light, but then I kind of made it so they didn't reflect as much because I thought it was too shiny, so I might just go back and put it the way I had it.
Yeah, well, it's just like literally two renders, mix them up together because like some of them will have because the leaves will be like probably the level that we want, or the rocks will be the level that we want, but the ground itself will then get too bright. So it's
Okay.
Anybody else have anything for this before we call it a week? All right, cool. All right, thank you guys. This was a fun one.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. You guys enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Find some way to be happy this weekend, and I will see you all back on Monday.
Thanks.
All right, be good, everyone.
Talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Bye.